QR5 Cyber News here. It's another beautiful day in Melbourne today, and we're at Federation Square, of course. It's one of the heart of the city here. So, big news overnight. Big news overnight. It's a lot to talk about today. We've got big cyber news breaking. We've got CTF roundup of the next couple of days. Some interesting news there. And so let's dive in. So thanks for joining us this morning. Beautiful day in Melbourne, as I said. So big breaking news about this time yesterday. The Attorney General, Merrick Garland, and the DOJ in the United States announced the takedown of the S11, sorry, the 911 S5 um, botnet, which was purported to be the world's largest botnet. So it's an organization. The botnet was kind of a side thing to that, but the organization 911 S5, the S5 being the SOX 5 proxy. So a lot of people around the world were using this service as a proxy with some associated VPNs. Often when you see a takedown of a big cybercrime network, we find that they pop up again in other places pretty quickly. So it'll be interesting to see. But in this occasion, they're able to arrest the head of this network, who's the Singapore law authorities there assisted in arresting this person, who's the head of this 911 S5. So the alleged $5.9 billion over 10 years in this network from fraud and cybercrime, often involving US authorities and government loans and credit cards and things in the United States. So this service, the 911 S5, came with some bundled VPNs, and in those VPNs were some backdoors. The perpetrator who was arrested yesterday was harvesting IP addresses through there and selling them on the dark web and credentials to install malware that allowed the formation of a botnet. So there were 19 million IP addresses associated with this botnet, so it was very extensive. 600,000 of those were in the United States, so there's obviously going to be news today around the rest of the world as to how many people may have been affected in other countries. So that's very interesting. A huge haul, the arrest in Singapore, tens of millions of dollars in cash, 21 residential properties, a Ferrari, 2 BMWs, and a Rolls Royce there. So it's part of the proceeds of crime. So it's very interesting. Unrelated, but perhaps linked in some way in terms of the timing. The EU police, EU poll, have announced today as well overnight that Operation Endgame had shut down a network of malware droppers as well. So the FBI were involved in both cases, so not sure whether the timing was synergistic there for them and opportunistic to maximise the efforts. So that's very big news. I haven't heard anything out of Australia about any of the other Five Eyes nations that are often tied in with law enforcement in different countries. So it'll be interesting to see if we get an update this morning. There's been some other breaking news this hour, which we won't go into, but I'm sure we'll consume a lot of the media today. But turning now to capture the flag news, we have the US Cyber Games kicking off the season 4, and they're hosting for 2 weeks a global CTF that anyone around the world can participate in. Lots of prizes. You've got Brad Wolfendean and the great team on US Cyber Games will be hosting that and sharing their knowledge and really I have to say kind of their leadership in really leading the conversation with cyber athletes in this space around the world, doing a fantastic job there. Of course, US Cyber Games, it's Friday. I'm a bit cheeky, so we'll say, the third best cybersecurity capture the flag team region in the world. We like to do a little bit of gentle trolling of the US team here from Team Oceania, Australia and New Zealand. So, of course, that will all be settled in October when everyone goes to Chile for the championships. So, just on that little pivot, Team Asia, the ACSC team, have announced their final 15 that are going to Chile to compete in the World Championships in October. So that's great news as well. Lots of excitement there for those 15 people who've made it through all the qualifying rounds. So I think you can expect to see over the next coming weeks and months the announcement of teams. I know Team Oceania have a team of 30 that they're putting through their paces at the moment, and probably around July I think we may see their final lineup there. So lots of good things going on. It's all happening in cyberspace. So also an update just came through this morning. Google updated their opt-out ad provisions. There's been a lot of changes in US law, and the state of Colorado was the first one to hit the mandatory compliance trigger. So Google were pushing out updates this morning to all their digital creatives and people who host ads on their platform about the opt-out functions, and people need the purpose behind this is that there's a move on across a number of states in the US now to have an opt-out feature so that you can't be profiled or tracked through ads that are served up to you on platforms. Obviously, ads are more effective when they're aligned to your personal interests. In the United States, there are now laws moving out that you can opt out of having the visibility of your kind of interests and browsing habits that are aligning ads to your particular area of interest when you're surfing the net and moving through your favorite digital creatives. So if you do have your favorite digital creatives, then make sure you like and subscribe and follow them and help support them as they do fantastic work around the world. So that's kind of the update here from Australia in Melbourne today. It's a beautiful sunny day. The towers of Melbourne are standing tall in the beautiful blue sky. And I'm going to head to our outro and make sure you follow the blog. And we'll try and give you more updates and news as they come to hand. Thank you for joining us.